Ben had that feeling you have when you're on a roller coaster and it's slowly making its way up the track. You want to get off and you want to stay on. Dread and delight all rolled into one. Yes, he said. Hurrah, said Granny, giving Ben a big smile. Ben turned to leave, then turned around. I love you, Granny, he said. And I love you too, little Benny, said Granny with a wink. Ben winced. He had a Gangsta Granny now, and that was great, but he was going to have to teach her just to call him Ben. Ben ran along the corridors, his heart beating incredibly fast. Boom, boom, boom. He was electrified with excitement. This 11-year-old boy, who had never done anything notable in his life except once been sick on his friend's head on the big wheel at the local fun fair, was going to take part in the most daring robbery the world has ever known. He ran outside the hospital and began fumbling with the keys to unlock his bike from the railing. Then looking up, he saw something unbelievable. It was his granny. That in itself was not unusual, but Granny was abseiling down the side of the hospital. She had tied a number of bed sheets together and was lowering herself at speed down the side of the building. Ben couldn't believe his eyes. He knew his granny was a proper gangster, but this was off the scale. Granny, what on earth are you doing? Shouted Ben across the car park. The lift wasn't working, dear. See you next Friday. Don't be late, she shouted as she reached the ground, leapt on her mobility scooter and roared off. Well, whirred off home. Never had a week pass so slowly. Ben spent all week waiting for Friday to come. Every minute, every hour, every day seemed like an eternity. It was strange having to pretend he was just another ordinary boy when really he was one of the greatest criminal masterminds of all time. Finally, Friday evening came. There was a knock on Ben's bedroom door. Rat-a-tat-tat. Well, are you ready, son? Said Dad. Yeah, said Ben, trying to act as innocent as possible, which is actually quite hard when you're feeling extremely guilty. You don't need to pick me up too early in the morning tomorrow. Granny and I normally play Scrabble until quite late. You won't be playing Scrabble, son, said Dad. No? No, son. You won't be going to Granny's tonight at all. Oh, no, said Ben. Is she back in hospital? No, she's not. Ben sighed with relief, then felt a prickle of anxiety. So why am I not going to her house? The plan was in place and there was no time to lose. Because, said Dad, tonight it's the under-12 dancing championships. At last, it's your big moment to shine. And that's the end of my chapter. I hope you enjoy the rest of the book, everybody. Bye-bye.